A non-stop race against time as two men are given 3 days to retrieve $250 million from zombie-infested South Korea. Will they succeed in their mission?
Peninsula is a zombie movie and a sequel to the 2016 hit film Train to Busan. Today we'll be reviewing and recapping the events of this high-speed sequel. Let's check it out.
In a forest, a car drives past a snarling zombie as a child. Dong Hwan overlooks a nearby city in smoky ruins. Military Captain Jeon Suk drives the car, and there are two other passengers, Chul Min and Jeong Seok's sister, Jun. Two survivors attempt to stop the car. They have a young daughter and beg for them to let them in. Jeong Suk notices a bite on the man's neck and refuses. A talk show host interviews a man about the events that have led to the virus running rampant across Korea. The zombie pandemic took only 1 day to sweep across Korea and send the country into chaos. We see footage of the effects of the virus across the country and return to Jeon Suk and his team, who have arrived on a refugee boat to Japan. Jeon Suk is called away by a fellow soldier who tells him they are all being rerouted to Hong Kong. While he is away, a man in the cabin begins to twitch and convulse and flip over in a strange, inhuman motion. And we see he is infected with the virus. Jeon Suk returns downstairs after being denied any information from a commanding officer to find the virus has swept throughout the cabin. He finds Dong Hwan cradled by his sister as he convulses violently. He desperately tries to drag his sister away as the writhing bodies slowly begin to animate. He's able to shoot some, but not in time to save his sister. Back in the talk show studio, we learn that after this outbreak on the boat, countries stopped accepting Korean refugees, and the country has been isolated for 4 years. In present-day Hong Kong, a crime boss bids Jeon Suk and Chul Min to return to South Korea and retrieve a vast sum of money for him. If they're successful, he'll pay them half of what they bring back, $250 million. They discuss their options at dinner, but unfortunately they have no money and it's unlikely they'll ever be granted citizenship. Jeon Suk doesn't want to go back, but Chul Min insists that he will do the job. Aboard a ship transporting them back to the South Korean peninsula, Jeon Suk, Chul Min, and two others prepare their weapons. A gangster tells them they have only 3 days to retrieve the truck containing the money. By night, they leave the boat and row towards their ruined country past the wreckages of half-sunken ships and broken bridges. On land, they find a car and get it started. They set off towards the target to get in and out as soon as possible. They've been given a specific license plate to look for and they think they've spotted it. So Jeon Suk gets out to inspect a vehicle, but it's not the one they're looking for. What he does find, however, is a glass escalator space packed to the brim with writhing, trapped zombies. Of course, he doesn't mention it when he returns to the car, and they carry on their search. They find a truck on a congested highway and confirm it's the one they're looking for. Cracking open the back, they find bag upon bag stacked with American dollar bills. We see that the two little girls are watching them from afar through binoculars. Chul Min climbs into the cabin to pull the dead driver out, but he springs to life and tries to bite him. Chul Min survives and Jeon Suk shoots the zombie, but not before pressing the horn on the truck and making a lot of noise to attract curious, hungry zombies. A few seconds later, a wave of snarling undead comes running from the tunnels. Jeon Suk shoots a few cars to activate their alarms and distract the zombies as he rushes to get into the truck. As they drive away, a series of flares are launched from behind them, landing in front of their vehicle and drawing the attention of yet another horde of zombies. They hit the gas and attempt to escape, but are caught in a collision which causes both vehicles to crash, launching Jeon Suk through the windshield.
Didn't take long for this mission to go south.
Jeon Suk does his best to fend off the hordes, but there are too many. Suddenly, a girl Junhee in an SUV drives up to him and tells him to hop. There's another, even younger girl, Yoo Jin, in the passenger seat.
The girl is a fantastic driver, and she sweeps through the city with ease and skill while listening to upbeat Spanish guitar music on the radio, which adds a fun little feel to this cool chase scene. She even uses a remote-controlled car covered in bright disco lights to remove a horde of zombies from their path.
Chul Min, meanwhile, has locked himself in the relative safety of the truck with all their money. But then a brightly lit truck pumping Korean pop music drives past and draws them away. As the zombies give chase, a series of cars pop out behind it, full of survivors to come and inspect the truck. Not knowing Chul Min is in the back, they drive off with their bounty. Junhee brings Jeon Suk back to their shelter, where he meets her grandpa Kim and their mother, Min Jung, who Jeon Suk remembers as the woman he didn't save on his way to the boat those 4 years ago. Back at the camp, the survivors, led by Sergeant Hwang, discover Chul-min in the carriage and take him off to the game. Chul-min is dragged through the complex past hanging bodies toward his fate. Meanwhile, we learn from Min-jung that the outfit who have captured Chul-min is known as Unit 631. They were initially detached to help civilians. They tried to send out SOS signals for a few years, but they eventually went crazy. We meet Captain Seo, the leader of Unit 631, as he pulls his gun in his mouth and prepares to pull the trigger. However, he's interrupted by Private Kim, who has discovered the stash of US dollars and come to tell his boss. The manic troops of 631 strip Chul-min of his t-shirt and spray paint the number 61 on his back before chucking him into a shipping container. Seo inspects the back of the truck and finds not only the money but Chul-min's satellite phone, which starts to ring, and a voice on the other end asks where the money is. A buzzer sounds and the other men with numbers painted on them slump toward an arena. Chul-min follows and is surrounded by jeering, shouting men of 631. A 120-second timer starts and a door opens, releasing a horde of infected humans into the arena. The game is to survive until the timer runs down. Chul-min survives the chaos as the camera whips around, showing us the madness in all its glory. Meanwhile, back with Jeon-suk, they decide to leave for Incheon port to get the satellite phone so they can radio for help. Kim, however, wants to wait for someone called Mayor Jane to come back and save them as she promised they would. Jeon-suk's nightmares are haunted by leaving Min-jung to die 4 years ago and his guilt for being alive. He tells her about this the following morning, but she doesn't remember him. 31 cars drove past that day and none stopped. She chucks him a rifle and says he's indebted to protect her daughters. 5 of them set off, arriving near their destination. Min-jung makes her daughters promise to wait in the car as she and Jeong-suk leave to go and retrieve the satellite phone. They sneak into the 631 encampments and spot the truck moving swiftly and quietly through the base. Min-jung goes to get the truck while Jeon-suk searches for Chul-min. Captain Seo finds Hwang in his office. Hwang thinks he's been acting off and suspicious. Private Kim enters and the cogs in Hwang's brain start turning. Something is definitely up. In the truck, Min-jung finds the broken phone and is discovered by Private Kim. He asks to join them and tells them he knows where the functioning satellite phone is. Back in the camp, another deadly 120-second game begins to distract the men while Seo can make good his escape. Approaching the truck, Seo finds Min-jung behind the wheel. He fires his gun at her, but she starts the truck and reverses, knocking Seo off his feet and to the hard ground. As a zombie dives for Chul-min, he accepts his fate, but Jeon-suk arrives in the nick of time and blasts the zombie. With expert skill, he executes the zombies in the arena and saves his friend. He blasts a hole in the arena wall with a grenade, and zombies swarm the area, sending the camp into chaos. As they shoot their way through the soldiers, Chul-min falls victim to a well-placed bullet from Hwang and dies instantly. Then, powered by rage, Jeon-suk embarks on some nicely choreographed John Wick-style shooting and martial arts action to wipe out the oncoming soldiers. Min-jung drives her truck through the wall, saving Jeon-suk before Hwang can kill them with another precision shot. A high-speed chase through zombie-infested streets ensures as they attempt to get away in the truck. They find themselves surrounded blasting zombies as they attempt to break into the truck before a horn sounds. It's Jun-hee. She blares the horn, and Grandpa Kim chucks firecrackers out the window to draw their attention and clear the path. The zombies are gone, but Hwang is hot on their heels with a convoy of angry soldiers.
Some of this high-speed chase is done using real cars, but the majority is VFX. This allows for an over-the-top comic book style chase full of unrealistic but exciting moments. This ludicrous chase continues on for a solid 10 minutes and provides a fantastic effects-heavy climax for the film. From soldiers jumping onto the truck to Mad Max-style fortified trucks and zombies throwing themselves from buildings, it's a great payoff for a relatively slow burn up until now.
The team finally gets away and Jeon-suk radios that they will be arriving in Incheon in 15 minutes. They see the boat on the horizon and Yoo-jin celebrates. There's a quiet sense of tension being built here, and it pays off quickly as a car blindsides Jun-hee's vehicle on Yoo-jin's side. It's Captain Seo. He drags Jun-hee from the car and holds his gun to her head. He's crazed, but as he drags her away, Yoo-jin switches on her remote control car, hitting him in the leg, giving Jun-hee enough time to run away. Seo shoots Grandpa Kim in the back and Min-jung in the leg. He jumps in the truck and escapes onto the boat.
The Hong Kong gangsters don't recognize him though, so they shoot him, because that is what nasty gangsters do. With his dying breath, Seo hits reverse on the truck and backs it up, stopping the ship's ramp from closing as hordes of zombies swarm the boat.
The family mourns the death of their grandpa as Jeon-suk looks on, and in the distance they hear a helicopter. They turn to see a military chopper nearby. Yoo-jin grabs the remaining fireworks and lights them to draw the soldiers' attention. Min-jung knows she can't run, so she makes Jeon-suk swear to protect the kids. They race on foot across the car-strewn highway as Min-jung provides coverage fire against the approaching zombies. She jumps into a truck cab and hammers the horn, drawing all their attention to her and giving the others time to run. As they reach the helicopter, UN soldiers jump out to save them. The first to meet them has Jane printed on her armor, the man her grandpa had been radioing. Junie grabs Jane's gun and insists that they wait for their mother. Seeing this, Min-jung takes her rifle and holds it to her chin. Jeon-suk cannot stand by and watch. He runs back to the truck in full soldier mode, executing zombies perfectly and giving Min-jung time to hobble to the helicopter with him just behind her. The four of them make it onto the chopper in time and it flies away, leading them all to safety.
Train to Busan was a worldwide hit that wowed audiences with its fresh take on the genre by placing it all inside a high-speed train. Following such a smash is always tricky, and Peninsula removes the single set concept altogether while keeping with the fast-paced rhythm. It's a much more conventional zombie film, and it hits more traditional beats. And while it executes them very well, it does set it apart from the ingenuity of the first film. This is okay, because Peninsula is going in an entirely different direction than the first movie. This is much more of a zombie action movie, as opposed to a zombie horror movie. The brilliantly choreographed gunplay and car chase set pieces are more than a match for anything Hollywood has to offer. And with a cast of touching, believable, and entertaining performances from every cast member. Please subscribe to our channel to be notified when we upload, and don't forget to suggest movies that you want us to recap in the comments down below.